Hey.
Oh,
You look different, Rob. Look at you.
thanks, buddy. You look really different too.
Yeah, it's like we're animated.
I'm having fun of what you're selling. That's what I'm having.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Hey, man.
It is what's today? Monday,
The
September 13th.
You're halfway through September, bro.
Where did the summer go?
Where
is it? What happened? What happened, man? What happened?
I have no idea. John, how are you, buddy? We were it was touch and go there. We didn't think you were gonna make it to the show tonight.
I literally had to reboot right before we started because my internet, I think my router like auto resetted itself or something. I don't know. It literally like decided to reset right when we were about to start. But luckily my computer doesn't take as long as Rob's to reboot. So we're online.
I got a new computer now.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So Rob's saying it's not his fault.
Not anymore.
So welcome back, everybody. We had a little holiday. What happened last week, Rob? We took a
it was Labor Day break. Yeah. We were tired.
Yeah.
I don't think we've taken. I think we've been going straight every week since almost a year now. You've had a day or so off, a couple days off. I've had a couple days off for things, but for the most part, we've done a live show for almost. I think we're at week 50. I feel like it was like officially as a Sidekick Show.
I think 30 or 40. I think we're at 30 or 40 at least. I was numbering the episodes and then I kind of lost track of it. So
because you can't count higher than 40.
No, it doesn't automatically keep track of it. Like whenever I have to upload the audio, I have to like go back and forth and check the episode numbers. So I don't know.
See,
I don't
now,
know why
I think you might be. Listen, if we go to the, because what was the original when we first started off with Joey? It was way back. Whoa, Sarah. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll try and do a count for the next episode. Although I think am I gone next week or the week after that? I don't remember.
No, next week I think you're away.
Yeah. I'm away.
Next week's the 19th.
Rob's gonna come up with something. So
yeah,
hopefully it's interesting.
I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be Legally Blonde and Legally Blonde 2 because I know you really want to watch those. Yeah,
I do quite enjoy Legally Blonde 1 at least. I did not know there was a second one, and I feel like there's a musical as well.
There is. So. Wait, you didn't know there was a second Legally Blonde?
No. What year did they come out?
I don't know, but I know that there's two. I'm fairly certain you were aware of it.
Lies. Must have been straight to video. So anyways, welcome folks. Thanks for joining us. I see a whole bunch of people in the comment. What up, Jessie? What up, Scott? What up, Sarah's in there. I saw who else was in there. Scott. No Lewis. I wonder what Lewis is up to. Maybe he's seeing Shang Chi again. So what are we gonna do? You got any news? I got a couple of things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go over your stuff.
All right. So what's happening at the store this week? So we have everything posted. If you follow us on our social media, on the Instagram or the Facebook, we do post all the new comic book releases. I will point out one coming out this week called Primordial #1 by our guys Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Gideon Falls fame.
That's right.
So this is a brand new book coming out, brand new #1. It's going to have a couple different covers. I've got a picture here on the screen. The two covers to the left and the right are for issues 2 and 3. So it's a really cool concept. I'm going to just read the quick synopsis so you guys can get a little taste of it because I think it's going to be a really fun book. So it's a mind-bending sci-fi collides with Cold War thriller in the 6-issue miniseries by best-selling and Eisner Award-winning creative team behind Gideon Falls. In 1957, the USSR launched the dog Lakia into Earth's orbit. 2 years later, the USA responded with 2 monkeys, Abel and Baker. These animals never returned, but unbeknownst to everyone, they did not die in orbit. They were taken, and now they are coming home. So Gideon Falls was a hell of a good book, right, Rob? So we are looking for them. Sorry, you were on mute for a second there.
Oh, sorry, that's my bad. I loved it, and I think that they have a collected edition, Volume 1, coming out later this month, John.
Yeah. I think they're going to have a nice deluxe hardcover coming out.
Yeah. And I can't wait to grab that and then Volume 2. I love that book.
Yeah. So that book's coming out, brand new number 1. Great issue you can pick up. Also, we got a whole bunch of trade paperbacks and stuff like that. So check out our Instagram or Facebook. You can see the latest posts there. Stray Dogs is coming out in trade paperback form. If you haven't heard about that book, really hot book about like animals looking for their owners and potential murder, horror, movie, mystery type thing going down. And then I will mention that the new Magic set, Innistrad, I forgot what it's called. Midnight Hunt, I think it's called. So a brand new Magic set again coming out. I feel like the D&D one just came out a month or so ago, but we got a brand new horror themed D&D set, not D&D, Magic set. Typically werewolves, vampires, all those kind of special creature types. Was a lot of fun the first time around, and they're kind of doing this comeback to it. So that pre-release is this week, and then the set officially comes out next week. And that's like new stuff happening in the store, and we'll probably see a bunch of new stuff drop on our socials throughout the week. So Rob, what's new? What's cooking?
Well, let me just tell you, John, that Stray Dogs comic sounds really good. I just wish it started a little as Hobo, because at that point we would have one of the best comic books of all time. We got some news, buddy. My top 3 anticipated, one of my top 3 anticipated movies of the fall is James Bond 25, No Time to Die. They just released what the runtime for the movie is, John. It is the longest James Bond movie in Bond movie history. How's that for a mixing of words? It is going to clock in at 2 hours and 43 minutes. And that is 2 hours and 43 minutes of pure orgasmic delight. I cannot wait.
What is the second longest Bond movie? Did it ever top the 2 hour mark? Does it typically?
Oh yeah. I think it was 229. I think it was yeah. So I could be maybe it's
so not a super far stretch, but that's a hell of a long movie. I'm trying to remember the last movie we saw that was that long. Was one of the Marvel big enders like Infinity War, Endgame.
Endgame was about Endgame? was close to that. Yeah. So. Yeah, I know that some people, aren't overly. I mean, I think our friend Pat started crying when we were talking about it in our private chat. That might be a bit too long, but I think that's only because Pat has a very small bladder and has a difficult time being able to sit.
During I don't remember if it was Infinity War or Endgame. Right when Thanos was about to take the gem from Vision, this guy gets up and starts pushing past everybody to go to the washroom. So that was potentially the end of the movie, but it turned out, it got like rewound with the time stone or whatever. So he lucked out and got to see that for a second time. But it was really funny. We're like, and I turned to him and I go, "Seriously, you got to go now?" He's like, "I gotta go."
What a guy!
Shout outs to Shang Chi. During the end, one of our party members that came with us really had to go to the bathroom, something fierce. And if you haven't seen the end of Shang-Chi yet, there's a lot of water action going on. So he was dying, but he managed to hold it together.
That's good. We got some news that came out this afternoon, just a couple of hours ago, John. So as you know, Matt Reeves is now in the final stages of putting together the Batman, Robert Pattinson's The Batman. Now, I think a couple weeks ago we may have talked about the fact that they did some test screenings and they were going like crazy. Now that movie was in excess of like 3 hours just for the test screening cut, and people were going mental for it. Well, I don't know if this is tied to what happened with the test screenings or not, but news came out late this afternoon that HBO Max is looking to do a Penguin spinoff, potentially starring Colin Farrell as the crime boss, as the Penguin. As you know, he is under some heavy makeup in the Batman trailer that we saw last year at Fandom. But apparently his portrayal is one that would potentially warrant a spinoff. So
this is a character like back when you were watching Batman 66. Yeah. Would you ever think the Penguin would get this much of a limelight?
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. I think in the Gotham show, the actor playing Penguin got a bunch of heat because he was doing a really wicked job as that character. So I wonder if that is like, kind of like what he set up, or just this version of the Penguin requires some type of mini backstory a la Peacemaker or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I listen, we will potentially get a better look at Colin Farrell's Penguin in the next couple of weeks when DC Fandom hits live. I think it's October, doesn't matter. But it will be live on their streaming services on YouTube, and we're going to get a whole bunch of trailers for that.
Quick aside first, Rob. I've like Gordon mentioned Colin Farrell here, and this always comes up. I don't know why. Miami Vice with Colin Farrell and
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx,
Yes.
directed by Michael Mann.
Michael
Are you a
Mann.
fan?
I've only seen it like once. Like I need to see it again, but I remember
Yeah, because
enjoying
people
it.
rave about this movie. Every time I talk about like action movies and stuff, everyone's like, "Hey, Miami Vice." Something about the way it's filmed and the
Yeah.
style behind it. So I don't know if that's something we should add to the rewatch list.
You know what? I'm gonna watch. We'll watch it for next week. Oh, you're not here.
Oh, hey, I'll come in for the very end when you duck out.
Oh, sounds like prom night, John. Speaking of streaming services, I had to get it in there. Speaking of streaming services, last week we had some big news out of Paramount. So they kind of ousted their CEO and promoted Brian Robbins as the head of Paramount CEO. Now, you might say, oh, that name kind of sounds familiar. Well, he was an actor back in the 80s in Head of the Class and did some other stuff. And if you're thinking, well, that's not it, where else have I seen the name Brian Robbins? Well, John, he was one of the producers and showrunners of your favorite TV show, Smallville. It was Brian Robbins and
okay.
Tollins. I can't remember the other guy.
Head of the Class, not Herman's head, right?
No, Head of the Class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So anyways, he's been promoted to CEO. The reason I bring this up, because nobody who gives a shit about normally, but apparently his mandate is to kind of go in and say, hey, listen, we are kind of need to move away from theatrical releases and drop things on Paramount Plus streaming. We need to move away a better business model. We're losing too much money putting things out in theaters. Let's move towards streaming. This is a huge move. Paramount is not a rinky-dink movie studio, right? They have a huge pedigree and a long history of great movies. Now, currently in the can, they have Mission Impossible 7. They are currently filming Mission Impossible 8, and they also have Top Gun 2, which was pushed into next May, I believe. So I imagine all those Tom Cruise movies will hit theaters. I think that they will have some theater released movies, but it looks like under Robbins, the majority of their movies, he wants to have it put out onto Paramount Plus. So that's to me, that's a pretty big move, a seismic shift in the entertainment industry, and one that we have to definitely keep our eyes on. Speaking of movies, again, last week, John, news kind of broke out that Marvel has added 4 dates for upcoming MCU movies. We just don't know what those movies are. They're untitled, but they've penciled into the calendar schedule and said, hey, everybody, these are the dates that we're taking. I'm going to run them off the dates for you. All right, John, I want you to pay attention. February 16th, 2024. May 3rd, 2024. July 26th, 2024. And November 8th, 2024. What do all those things have in common, John? And you're on mute. You are on mute. Way to ruin the bit.
They're all in 2024?
There you go, John. We are going to be getting potentially 4 Marvel movies in 2024. We don't know what those are. I think Jessie suggested that potentially we could be looking at Deadpool 3. That's a very good possibility. We could potentially... Oh, I don't know, John. Do you think it's too early? Maybe. Is it too early for a Fantastic Four movie? I mean, who the hell knows? But Marvel has shoehorned in.
They got to stop teasing these things and get it rolling. So yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're finally nailing down some dates for some Fantastic Four and some X-Men projects.
Well, hopefully 2024 seems a long ways away. It's about 2 and a bit, just a tad over 2 years away. But that also includes whatever Disney Plus TV shows they have. And speaking of Disney Plus, my boy this guy right here, John, he did his a solo trailer review of Hawkeye for the Disney Plus TV streaming show. So definitely go to the YouTube channel and check out John breaking down the trailer. That was a good show, John. I enjoyed watching that this afternoon. And finally, Bud, I've got some graded comics behind me. Do you have any at home?
I do not.
Well, you have got some in the store. I know that.
Right? Yeah. We've got a bunch of stuff on the shelf, and we have submitted stuff for grading, but I don't own any graded books.
Well, let me tell you, maybe you should be checking your dust bins, your comic bins, and maybe any graded copies you might have lying around, ladies and germs, because that's an old wrestling reference. Hope you enjoyed it. Amazing Fantasy 15. John, do you know what the significance of Amazing Fantasy 15 is?
That is first appearance of the Spider-Man.
It is, and it went on auction last week. I'm going to tell you what the graded copy was, all right? It was a 9.6. There are only 4 9.6 in existence. There is no 9.8. Do you want to take a roundabout guess what this 9.6 came out as? What it sold for last week rather?
What did that Superman book go for? Like
$3.1 million was Superman, was Action Comics.
Okay, so this is not quite of that vintage.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know. I want to say at least 100,000, but I might be way off.
100,000?
Yeah.
Okay. No. $3.2 million.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. We're talking about the first appearance of Spider-Man. I only don't know this because I own a comic store, but we are probably never going to come across one in the existence of our store. No one's going to sell that to us, or sell it through us, or we're not going to obtain a copy. So I feel like I don't need to know the price of that book.
Fair enough. That is the highest grossing comic to go right now, is holding the record. And again, only 4 copies are graded at 9.6, no 9.8s, which is like a near mint or a gem mint on that. So definitely something to look out for. Hey, you never know. This is what, flea markets and garage sales are great for, because you never know what you can find down there. And Michael Holmes, I'm sorry to see you go, but we're good. Yeah. So John, that is the news I have for today, buddy. That's all the news fit to print.
All right.
Now
Good
I'm
stuff.
going to have some Smarties.
It's left over from Halloween.
No, they're selling Halloween candy now.
Oh yes. I saw some guy like clearing off the shelves at one place. I don't know what he was doing, but it was nuts.
Might have been me.
Yeah, it was you in disguise all the way up in Markham area, looting our candy because they were all out over in your hood.
Yes.
But yeah, all right, cool. That was a lot of stuff that happened. So it was a pretty busy weekend or Monday, I guess.
Wow.
So thank you everybody for listening to the news. Thank you, Rob, for pulling all that info for us.
If I can pull it, John, I will.
Yeah, like on prom night. But okay. What else we got? So we dropped our Shang Chi review. So if you haven't seen our Shang Chi review, that is up and available on our YouTube and on our audio formats, as well as our What If episode 5 review, which we weren't too keen on, but maybe someone out there liked it. And we'd like to hear from maybe someone who enjoyed it. I watched a couple other people review it, and they seem to all feel the same way. Everyone's kind of mentality is, I wanted to like it, but I didn't. So it's hard to say. This week, I believe it is confirmed that it is the Killmonger episode. I think the video promo was the Michael B. Jordan animated version. So we'll see what happens this week. And Smarties in a box. Do Smarties not normally come in a box? They come in a box, do they not?
Yeah, in Canada.
But he doesn't. You don't get them in the States though.
Yeah, I don't know.
M&Ms come in a bag, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
But in all fairness, we have milk in a bag and they have it in a box. It's ass backwards. So,
but we can also get milk in a box if we want. Like we have the
right,
option.
but most of us actually get it in a bag.
Yeah.
Don't you get your milk in a bag?
I do, yeah. But occasionally we get it in a carton. So like we have the choice. But yeah, I always find it weird that certain candies aren't available over there. Like M&M, like Smarties is your option because it is nut free, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So M&Ms, what did they do in the States if they want a nut-free option?
I don't know.
Since there's no...
I don't know. I think they just say
Skittles. I guess they say Skittles.
Yeah, maybe.
You want some M&Ms? Okay, no nuts? You got to go Skittles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Jesse's asking me if it's a Three Jokers behind me. It is. It is Three Jokers #1. It's the Joker cover. It's a 9.8. But what you can't see is I actually have cover B's, which is Batman, Red Hood, and Batgirl. But right here, right there, this backwards thing is killing me right here. They're not graded, but I want to send them in. I just haven't got around to doing it yet.
Yeah, there's a huge backup wait list if you want to get stuff graded, unless you want to pay for like a super premium grading, which is only worth it if you have something like, say, an Amazing Fantasy or some of the vintage books. Yeah, because you're paying a lot to submit a new book and you're waiting. I think it's a minimum wait of six months right now or whatever. So like,
but if you have those old school books like that is, if you want to just submit any book that's modern era, but weirdly enough, the modern era goes back to like the 80s. I don't know why that's just the way it is. But that's the 6 months. But anything older than like the 80s or 70, 78, I think is a cutoff. That then becomes Bronze Age, right? And it's more money. So it starts to become increased more money. So if you're like hanging out with your Aunt B and she's like, oh, your Uncle George left a whole bunch of books in the storage. You want to take a look? And you go and like, holy shit, it's Iron Man #1. You're paying a pretty penny to have that one graded because it's
almost always that story ends up being a pile of literal junk though.
Yeah.
Bunch of crushed up books. Some guy was acting like he had like gold. He brought in like a trade paperback and some random Wolverine reprint that was like, I feel like it was run over by his car. I guess he's like cleaning out someone's garage and found it like behind a table or something and thought it was money, but whatever. So now we're gonna move on to what are we doing, Rob? We're tucking in the summer, right? Summer's done.
As we had just said at the top of the show, summer is over. It's stick a fork in it. We are done. We are past Labor Day weekend. Stop wearing your white pants, John, because it's out of fashion, it's out of vogue. And we're talking about what did we do in summer of 2021? What did we watch? What did we read? What did we play? And we want to get the people in the chat to let us know, what did you guys watch? What would you recommend? Something, whether it's a new show or an old show. I have a list of stuff that I had watched, and I stumbled across some older shows from way back in the day that I just never got to see. So tell us, in the chat, what did you guys read, watch, play? What did you guys do? And then we're also going to kind of forecast the things that we are looking forward to for the fall to finish off the year. So John, your summer of 2021, bud, how did it go?
Yeah, so let's open it with movies. I've put together some quick images.
Okay.
So in the month of June, this is obviously not all the movies, but this is like a hit list. So you can see the kind of stuff that opened up and that was kind of touted as big. So Fast 9 came right at the end of June. And a lot of people's first day back at the movie theater.
Yeah.
We did see Black Widow drop on
we
the
did
premium.
like a pile of shit.
and I don't know did anyone watch Infinite? Did anyone watch Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard? I didn't get around to that. I did watch this Wish Dragon down here and it was okay. And then I heard rave reviews about this Fear Street series.
Yes.
Or at least like people just enjoyed it in June. Did you want me to pop up the other months just so we can just get things
rolling?
Sure.
Do you
want to talk anything about these ones on the screen right now?
Yeah, well, just really quickly, I will say that we talked about Fast 9 in our reviews. We've reviewed Black Widow. We even reviewed the Tomorrow War. So if you have any interest, look at that. It's a straight up and down line. It's like a bingo chart. If anybody wants to go back and check out any of our past episodes, they're definitely there. I will say I would love to jump on and do a Fear Street trilogy review at some point. Those three movies are fantastic, especially if you are a fan of old 80s horror movies. You will love it. So I would definitely say if you haven't jumped on Fear Street, the trilogy, do so. 1994, 78, and 1666 is the third one. So a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is your stuff in order of month, or you just talk about the summer in general, Rob?
I got them all over the place, bro.
Okay, yeah. So I'll throw out the rest of these images just so people can be reminded of what happened during our summer. So the following month, July, we were hit with these ones here. So we did see Space Jam, the remake that nobody asked for.
Nor nobody.
Gunpowder Milkshake was I feel like it was met with disappointment. Snake Eyes, very mixed reviews, and we might have to go back and do a podcast about that. Jungle Cruise. Did anyone watch Jungle Cruise? I tried to fire it up. It was too kiddish for me. Green Knight, Rob, I think you said you were going to watch that before.
I did. I saw it last week because it came out a little bit. Yeah, I saw it last week. We can talk about that one a little bit later. Yeah.
So we got Rob says Tomorrow War was okay. I
nope, that was Scott said
Tomorrow.
that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm talking to you. How about Old? Did you end up seeing Old?
No, I didn't. And actually, I'm really surprised that it hasn't been out on streaming anywhere. That was what my pick, what I suggested could be a potential sleeper hit. Like a fart in the wind, it came and went. No idea what happened to it.
I did watch that Jolt project
okay.
with Kate Beckinsale. It was not good either.
No.
So a lot of these movies that I don't know if they were intended for theaters or not, did fall flat for me. So yeah, so Sarah agrees. Gunpowder Milkshake, huge disappointment. She's down. She says the Fear Street stuff was good.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes. I think in my July graphic I didn't put the other two Fear Street movies because I think they dropped two of them in July or something like that. And then we closed up August with these movies. I don't know if Shang Chi. Do we actually consider it? Like every time I look up movies for August, they throw Shang Chi on there.
But
I don't know if it's because they did the pre-screens or whatever.
Yeah, it could be, but it is a September movie. But
yeah, but they did close like with some big hits like Suicide Squad, and Free Guy were at least two of the biggest ones.
Well, and Candyman. So I haven't seen Candyman yet. But admittedly, the buzz on that is huge. Like it's really good, apparently. So
sorry,
will I will I go out to see it in theaters right now? Probably not. But I do want to see it. As soon as it drops on streaming, I'm probably gonna rent it because I do want to see it.
Yeah. So I don't know. This Reminiscence. Did you have any interest in that? They played the trailer during I think Suicide Squad.
No, couldn't care less.
Yeah. I think I feel like I'll watch it on streaming later on. I did watch He's All That. That was kind of funny. The Protege. I don't know if anybody watched that. Like
again,
like it's in theaters anymore.
No, I don't think it is. Like Reminiscence and did you say the Protege? You know what? Yeah. Honestly, I would watch those if they hit Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. I wouldn't rush to see them, but those are like that to me. Those movies, based on the trailers that I saw, I was like, okay, like that's a good sitting on my couch movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait, I said what? You said the name twice.
You said the Candyman name.
Candyman?
Say one more time. Oh no.
Oh no.
And then his speech just cuts out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the month of July, and then obviously September we had Shang Chi. I mean,
yeah.
Now, did you watch many TV shows?
Yeah, I have one last graphic of random TV shows.
You're awesome, buddy.
But nothing super crazy. So I threw up some random ones that I was familiar with. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch.
You're getting me in the feels, bud.
We got your guy Bosch there.
Yes, I have it on my list.
Yeah, Ted Lasso that I recently discovered. I'm almost caught up on episode 6. I think they just dropped episode 8. Rick and Morty I've actually been watching every Sundays. So shout out to that. It's really out there though, so not for everybody. And the He-Man show, we did a review on that. Loki, Sweet Tooth, White Lotus, I think you watched, and Superman and Lois. Are you still a fan of this show?
Yeah, I did. I actually quite enjoyed it. I mean, I still think that their pilot episode was probably one of the best. But I enjoyed that show. I think it was a lot better than I was anticipating it being. Listen, the last proper Superman show we had was with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher in the 90s, and it was cheesy as all hell. So this only could go up and away. And I thought it was great. I thought it differentiated itself from the rest of the Arrow shows that preceded it. And it looked like they put a decent amount of money into the show. Like the special effects didn't look cheap. So I was really happy with it. I was really happy with Sweet Tooth. I am a huge fan of Bosch season 7, which is currently streaming on Amazon or on Crave in Canada. This is the final season. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I will not tell you what happens. It is one of my favorite shows. It is such a good police procedural show, mystery show. I will say this though. If you're a fan of Bosch and you've seen season 7 and you're wondering what the hell is going on with that ending, they're currently filming a spin-off series. Halfway through filming of season 7, Amazon went up to them and said, "Hey, would you guys be interested in doing a spin-off for IMDb television?" Which I guess, yeah. So Amazon owns IMDb, and they have IMDb TV, and so they are currently filming a spin-off Bosch show right now. If you are familiar with any of the actors, if you go to the social media, you'll see there's a lot of photos out there. And we don't get IMDb TV up in Canada. However, it is rolled into Amazon Prime. So this gets me super giddy that at some point we are going to get a Bosch spin-off series. So in 2022. So that makes me excited. I have a list of shows though that I watched, John.
Yeah. So everyone's unanimously agreeing with, pretty much unanimously agreeing with you with the Superman and Lois show. That it's been keeping people's attention. Were you able to pinpoint anything exactly? Just the fact that it was done differently than most CW shows. I found they were utilizing Superman's powers to a really good degree. I guess the technology is finally here now that he can do Superman things other than just stop a car or things like that.
Well, I think also the story. Listen, I'm not a big fan, and I said this. I don't like his current costume on the CW show. I don't know why it looks like it was rented from Party City. It drives me crazy. But the story, like the interaction with him and Lois, they've moved back to Smallville. They're dealing with. They have two boys, which is a little bit different than the comics. And trying to be a family and trying to balance, the weight of the world of, Lois Lane is no longer this big time reporter, because if you work in media or you're familiar with how newsrooms and news divisions have happened in the last, 5-10 years, things collapse and get watered down. And, every year you always hear of massive layoffs, whether it's Bell, Chorus, Rogers, or whatever in Canada. So it is very relatable. You can appreciate it. And the story is just, you've got some super shenanigans happening, but it's what is below that matters. And if you compare that to what's currently going on season 7, going into season 8 of The Flash, it's like night and day. I don't understand. So I'm just a big fan of Superman and what they've done with the show. Jessie mentioned Heels. Jessie and I are on the same wavelength. I have it on my list. Heels with Stephen Amell. I think we mentioned it a couple weeks ago. It's definitely a show worth watching. If you have the Stars extension on Crave, definitely check it out. It is a lot of fun. I got White Lotus. We talked about that. Here's some TV shows though, John, that were a little bit older that I went back to. And so people haven't seen them. I don't have any fancy graphics, but The Newsroom, Aaron Sorkin's The Newsroom. You and Andre were on my ass about why the hell hadn't I watched this? I'm a big Aaron Sorkin fan. I'm a big fan of The West Wing. And that was a good question. So HBO, it's on there on Crave, and I checked it out, and 3 seasons of The Newsroom, and I wish we had more. It is so well done. I also checked out Yellowstone season 3. I keep putting off these later seasons because I don't want them to end. But if you haven't had an opportunity to check out Yellowstone on Amazon, you definitely owe it to yourself to do so. It is a fantastic series. 3 seasons so far. They've released a trailer for season 4 that comes out in November. So I'm very excited for that. It's with Kevin Costner. In that.
Yeah. I watched a bit. It looked interesting. Yeah,
it is. It is really cool, especially if you were a kind of like if you don't have to be a Western guy, because it's modern. It takes place in modern day, like Montana or whatever, right? But it's a power struggle. If you're a fan of Succession, also on HBO, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, in terms of the political aspects, the maneuvering of families versus each other, not the dragons. If you like the drama behind the cutthroat business of family, you will love Yellowstone. For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus. This was like, I saw when the season 1 came out, I was like, I have zero interest in this. Man, I was so wrong. This is starring your boy Joel Kinnaman.
Really?
Yeah, Rick Flag himself. And it's essentially revisionist history. All right, is that what happens when the man on the moon, the first people to land on the moon are not the Americans but other Russians, and it completely changes everything that we've ever been taught about history of the space race between the U.S. and Russia, and it advances things. Technology advances. The U.S. advances themselves. They have the first woman astronaut much quicker than they ever did because they now need to be number 1 in everything. So it is a fantastic show, and I would definitely recommend For All Mankind. Mayor of Easttown, also on HBO. I would recommend it as well. So.
Yeah. I hear about that one all all the time, and I wanted to get that one fired up.
And the last thing I'm going to say is, if you're a fan of documentaries, I love watching documentaries. There's a ton of documentary TV shows out there. But John, on Netflix, Bob Ross, Happy Accidents.
That's brand new, right?
Yes, it came out about maybe 3 weeks ago. It is fantastic. If you're thinking, who the hell's Bob Ross and what do I care? You will recognize him. This is the dude with a bit of the afro who was always painting on your PBS TV stations, right? Making these landscape pictures and paint. He would do it within 30 minutes. It's a very sad and tragic state of affairs with what happened to him and his legacy and his family. Despite the fact that this guy brought a lot of joy and still continues to do so. However, under a cloud of questionable tactics, because who exactly owns the name Bob Ross will completely blow your mind. So I would definitely suggest watching Bob Ross, Happy Accidents.
Controversy.
It is. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of shit, man.
I don't know what the show Raiders is that Gordon is talking about, but I'll have to try and maybe you can clarify.
Isn't Raiders the
Las Vegas Raiders?
No, isn't Raiders the story about these kids who did a shot-for-shot remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh,
is that it?
Maybe, yeah.
Could be.
I think I do remember seeing that thumbnail. I think Scott is a big fan of these reality shows. I don't know who else is down with these. I'd like to know, Scott, what appeals to you so much? Is it just the fact that it's real, or it's just fun to watch? These, especially in Paradise, I guess. I used to like watching people on, like in the vacation spots and stuff like that.
My wife watches these things. Like, I think her and Scott would get along quite well. And if it wasn't for COVID,
like, there's a lot of drama, like the Real Housewives of whatever, and all that stuff. They like to create the drama in there, and it's kind of fun to watch.
Temptation Island, Bachelor in Paradise, all those. I think my wife likes to tell me she could just literally turn off her brain and just enjoy the chaos of it all. And I wonder if that's maybe not the same. But that's a good guilty pleasure. John, what's your guilty pleasure? Do you have a guilty pleasure TV show? What is it?
I feel like it's kind of Rick and Morty, because it's not as widely accepted. But I don't know. It does get critical. Like it's generally rated well. So I don't know what it would be guilty pleasure. Let me try and think here. I did quite enjoy Riverdale. I'm way behind on that. That's been running this season. I got into that Outer Banks show that Stu was recommending, which is kind of like OC with boats. For some reason, it's fun to watch these teenagers muck about with treasure hunting or whatever you would call it. Yeah.
All right. I got a guilty pleasure. Listen, you're gonna laugh, and that's fine. And maybe those in the chat will say, "Aha!" and they'll try to tie it into what they think is Frosted Tips. Jersey Shore Family Vacation.
I think Sarah might have mentioned that earlier.
Oh, really? Yeah, that is for me a massive guilty pleasure. I saw that Crave just uploaded the second half of season 4. And I'm very excited to dive back into the chaos and anarchy of the Jersey Shore group as they navigate their way through whatever the hell they're doing. I remember during its height, I tried to get into it, and for some reason it didn't fire with me. That was when they had the JWoww and the Snooki and what was the other guy? So they had the situation. They have Pauly D. They have Vinny, Ronnie, the JWoww, Snooki, Angelina. Oh yeah, Angeliners. And then Meatballs. It's absolutely it is one of the lowest forms of television that there is, and yet it is so damn entertaining. It was
the early onset of this whole reality TV thing. It was on the ground floor, I think, right?
It had been out. No,
Paris Hilton stuff and all that.
Yeah, yes, it was around. Yeah, so MTV had been doing like The Real World right? All those real world shows, which were kind of like Big Brother, sort of, people living in a house together and trying to navigate. That's like 20 plus years on, 30 years now. I think they were doing Real World. They were doing a whole bunch of other shows. And then, they came up with this Jersey Shore, right? One season, one summer of a bunch of drunkards living together and just literally like, in the real world, you had to live with people of different ethnicities, of different religious creed, color, whatever, sexual orientation, and try to navigate the world and understand each other. There was a purpose behind that TV show to essentially for self-fulfillment and self-learning and to grow. Jersey Shore is the complete opposite. It's about it's about self-humiliation, drunkenness, and everybody wanting to smash everybody else. But man, it's so good. It's so stupid. It's so good. So that's my guilty pleasure.
Oh man, what's up, Eric? Bringing up Gordon Liu martial arts movies a little bit before my time, so I didn't journey back into too much of his back catalog. I would say probably 36 Chamber of Shaolin is his most popular and probably the one that I actually remember. I don't know if you have any experience. I know he's in Kill Bill, right, Rob?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, so listen, let us know in the chat. What is something that you guys, like I said, what do you recommend? I'll tell you what I have coming up from myself, John. This is the benefit of now having Crave or HBO, is that there's a bunch of shows I never got to see. Last year I saw The Sopranos. I had never seen it, right? And now I can go back. I've got Band of Brothers on my watch list. I've never seen it, and I'm very excited.
Oh wow!
Dive in. Yeah,
I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. I own the tin box set of Band of Brothers back in the day on DVD. I was going through a real kind of war movie, I don't know whatever.
Kick.
Click. Yeah, Kick. Yeah, a lot of people mentioned. Yeah, they guilty pleasure Jersey Shore for sure. Scott considers Bachelor and Bachelorette his guilty pleasure, and the Sidekick Show. Thank you for shout outs. Yeah. Jesse's mentioning Christopher Lloyd appearing on the Rick and Morty Adult Swim previews. That's crazy. Yeah, the character is essentially that character. Steve mentions RuPaul's Drag Race. I've heard this is many people's guilty pleasure, including Miley Cyrus and various famous celebrities, because they go crazy on that show apparently.
I've never seen. I've heard of it. I've just never seen it. Yeah, just not my. Yeah, that's right.
Oh man,
we are the situation.
There's a lot of love for Jersey Shore. So I'm like, I feel like I didn't get into that one. I did watch The Simple Life. And I watched my reality TV thing was American Idol. I watched a ton of American Idol.
Yeah,
I think I went to one of the tour concerts. I think
Shut up.
Second season or something.
I
think it was Carrie Underwood's year. Yeah. It's pretty funny because they just have all the different acts come on. They just do covers of all these songs that and then the person at the end, whoever won, sings their single, and then that's pretty much it. I think that was at the ACC or something like that. So that's probably my guilty pleasure from the reality TV show era. I did during the summer. I don't know if it was this summer or maybe before, but I watched The Warrior, and I think I got a lot of these guys into it. And I actually only finished season 1 like a couple weeks ago because I kind of like wanted to slow it down, but I really like that show. If no one's ever watched that, definitely watch that.
Yeah, I think I tried to watch part of episode 1 and I just wasn't into it, but it could have been I was just too distracted with other things at the time. So
I remember originally when it first dropped, I watched episode 1 and I did like it, but it wasn't enough to quite hook me. And then you get a couple episodes in, and then it really gets its flow. The actors start really gelling together. A lot of TV shows, like if you go back to a season 1, sometimes they're really like kind of like stiff and not quite on it.
Yeah, it takes them a while to get their feet right. There are very few TV shows where their first season is their best season. Or good. How's that? Like, listen, the first season of Seinfeld's not funny. I mean, it's okay, but it's definitely not what you watch it. If you were to watch it, if you were to say, hey, I'm going to make you watch Seinfeld's the epitome of 90s humor and a great TV show in the history of American TV show, I'm going to throw in a couple episodes. Nobody would ever throw on anything from season 1. Right. So, season 1 is difficult. Scott mentions 24. I'm assuming he's talking about with the first season. That's okay, buddy. I agree with Scott. I love season 1 of 24. I will say though, for me, seasons 4 and 5 were the pièce de résistance. They were amazing. 4 and 5. Loved them.
One was a crazy binge. If you didn't watch it live on TV and you got a hold of it after the fact, you would fly through the whole season in one shot. And then season 2 was fun. I think you're right. 4 and 5 were the sweet spot where it was getting like really crazy. They had a lot of cool characters running about, and then and then after that they just started killing people. Like one episode they introduced a character, next episode they'd be dead, and you'd be like, okay, I have no attachment.
Well, the funny thing about season 1, so a couple little tidbits for you, because I honestly, I'm not lying, it's not hyperbole. I have seen season 1 almost 10 times. But yeah, because every time a new season would come on, I would binge watch all the previous seasons. So I have them all on DVD. But season 1, they had only originally greenlit 12 episodes. So season 1 comes out, and it's kind of a complete story, and it's left on a very small thread of a cliffhanger. And then Fox says, "Hey, we're renewing you. Finish out the rest of the season." And the writers are like, "Oh, what do we do?" So essentially, if you were to go back and watch season 1 of 24 right now, you're gonna like, this is great, the first 2 episodes. And then episodes 13 to 24 are pretty much the exact same things happen as the first one, because they didn't know what to do. They just rehashed.
They just rinsed and repeated whatever worked.
They're like, oh,
they're like,
Kim's been kidnapped again. Oh, Terry has amnesia, so we can at least throw that one in. Oh, this is now happening. Like, yeah, because they had no idea how to properly finish out that season, because they really thought we're only going to get 12 episodes. Now, I was working in radio at the time. We had a screener copy on VHS of 24, and we got that. It was in August of 2001. And this show was 24 was supposed to drop September, and it was delayed until November because of the events of what happened in September 11th. But they actually ended up editing out the plane. If you remember the beginning, Mandy, she's on the plane. In the original pilot, you actually see the plane explode, but obviously they completely changed that. So you see her skydiving, and there's an explosion in the background, right? But yeah, so 24, I agree with Scott, is good. But if you were to watch it back now, you'd be like, oh man, they just redid the same shit.
Oh man, yeah, I remember Kiefer Sutherland did the voice on one of the Metal Gear Solid games. That was really cool. But he was the coolest guy when 24 was at its height. Oh man, Bauer. He was such everyone was like Jack Bauer this, Jack Bauer that. It was like, replaced all the Chuck Norris memes and jokes.
Did you ever download the CTU phone ring?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I had to slide it on unofficially onto my Nokia or whatever, because I refused to like actually pay for it. But yeah, that was a thing. Everyone was rocking that ringtone.
Yeah.
And you instantly knew what it was. But yeah.
Yeah. Were you a Jack Bauer guy or a Tony Almeida guy with the soul patch?
Yeah, no, I was 100% Jack Bauer. But when Tony Almeida made his comeback, like that was really cool, when he was like a badass. I really liked Curtis, who was like the black guy who really got punked off when he got killed, I think. But yeah, well, shout out to 24. Good times.
Missed that show.
Yeah. Did you ever watch? My Vice is going to come up again. Have you ever watched the old Miami Vice show?
Yeah.
It's because it's come up a couple times, and you see the clips on YouTube, the musical montages they used to do and things like that.
Yep.
So I wonder if that show actually stands up now. I don't know if anyone is a Miami Vice buff or anything like that. But what else you got? Anything in the comments, guys? Anything else we should watch that we haven't mentioned? I saw a bunch of.
Eric mentioned about the passing of Michael, and I was actually going to put this on the news, but I decided not to. Michael K. Williams passed away last week. The cause of death has not been determined, but the rumor is it looks like an accidental drug overdose, which is very sad. If you are a fan of The Wire, you will know that he played Omar Omar Little, I think, in The Wire, which is one of my favorite television shows of all time. And so Eric was asking what other roles did he play? And he played in a lot, but while I was trying to talk, I'm trying to remember. There was a movie about the Central Park Five. Do you remember that? There was a TV show.
It was recent, right?
Yeah.
Something Now They See Us or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought
When They See Us. Yeah. When They See Us.
Yeah. And I thought that he was yes, he did. He played one of the fathers in that. And having been so attached to the role of Omar in The Wire, and then you see him in this as a father, like this guy showed a massive range of acting, and he was highly regarded by a lot of his peers and a lot of critics and fans alike. And it's a complete tragedy that this guy left. He's only 54, I believe, at his passing. Had a lot more to give. And we've all been robbed of his brilliance. He's a good actor. So I would say definitely The Wire, but yeah, When They See Us, his portrayal as one of the fathers in that was just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I think it's hard to top that Wire, and even I haven't even seen all. Wire is one of those things that's on my list.
My God, you have to see it. You know, the one thing about The Wire is that, when you watch, so season 1, you watch it like, okay, I mean, obviously it's a bit dated now because they're all using pagers, but the story remains. In season 2, you're like, oh, it's not as good as season 1. You don't actually understand or realize the importance of season 2 until you've watched all 5 seasons, and then you realize after all 5 how important season 2 really is, because it's a story about drugs, right? And season 1 is a story about the cops and the drug dealers, right? And season 2 is, well, how do the drugs get into Baltimore? How do they actually get in? And then season 3 is about, well, what happens when the gangs start to take over each other, and the division of assets and it's told from the gang's point of view. Season 4 is, well, how do you get into a gang in the first place? How do they essentially breed these gangsters from such a young age? What do they do? And it's a lot about the housing crisis and the how the city has kind of put people of different racial ethnicities down, held them down so that they have no choice but to essentially work the street and game the system illegally, right? And then season 5 is told from the perspective of the politicians and the newspaper reporters who are trying to uncover this and bring to light and expose the truth about what's happening. When you realize that every season has a different perspective and all telling one giant story, it blows your mind away. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go back and watch The Wire, whether it's you, John, or anybody in this, I would definitely
I never had access to it. I was gonna buy it on sale. I think PlayStation Network kept putting the seasons on sale, and now I have access to Crave, so I can now watch it. Finally, I think I was gonna try and get those. I think they remastered it in HD.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the version that is on Crave.
It is.
I'm gonna have to chew through it. I know the show is a bit more in depth. You actually have to like sit and watch it. You can't just have it on in the background.
Yeah,
like a CSI or something like that. Yeah,
right.
I don't know if any of us watched Mighty Ducks. Did you watch Mighty Ducks? I think said it's all right.
Yeah, no, I think I wanted to watch it with the kids, but they had no interest in it.
I remember watching Mighty Ducks 2 like a million times back in the day when I was a kid. I don't remember any of it now. I did quite like Big Shot, so if you're looking for something good on the Disney Plus network, Big Shot with John Stamos. Shoutouts to season 1 of Heroes. I don't know if we've discussed this on here or the Heroes World podcast, but that was a hell of a season. Season 1 of Heroes was crazy. Yeah.
Yes. And is it Steve, right? Save the cheerleader, save the world. Yeah. Completely right. Like that phrase like transcended a bunch of different media properties, right? It was everywhere. It was on the, like Today's Show had it, like it was everything. Save the cheerleader, save the world was, and it was just so well done. And then season 2 happened.
Yeah, they even added Veronica Mars, Kristen Bell to the season and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm all on board. And then it just did not work at all.
And then season 3 came out, and we were just like, Stop, please, because I would almost want to go back.
I didn't
and
even
watch
remember
season.
it made it to season 3.
Yeah.
But
I want to go back and watch. I mean, remember Siler? He would just take the finger, and it would just like the person's head would just start to like slice open. You know, it was just and Peter Petrelli and
yeah.
Cause remember he would steal other people's powers. Remember he would rip open their skulls and take out their
touch their brain and who knows. Yeah. Steve shouts at Cowboy Bebop. Definitely got to watch that. Gordon, so Gordon mentions that the writer's strike. Yeah, I don't know if that was during season 2, but yeah, that hurt a lot of shows. A lot of our favorite shows will have this gap where that was the season of the writer's strike, and either the show got canceled or that was a really poor season, and all the story threads from that season were basically dropped. I don't know if you ever watched Friday Night Lights, one of my all-time favorite shows. They had a whole plot during that season of one of the guys kills another guy in self-defense, defending one of the females on the show, and then they throw the body off the bridge, and then there's like a whole murder thing, and then that storyline just kind of gets very quickly wrapped up and like pushed aside. They never mention it again for the whole entire rest of the show. But that's a really good show. I highly recommend that, especially with Michael B. Jordan joining in the later seasons.
Interesting. Never saw it. No, I know a lot of seasons they had shorter seasons because of the writer's strike as well.
Yeah. So Gordon saying, the whole season 2 and season 3, I guess people left the project, all that kind of stuff, and it just fell apart. But what a shame. That show was on the top of the world, went from the top of the world to underneath the garbage can. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's too bad, right? Because season 1 is so good, and yet nobody will recommend anybody watches it really much, because then you're
I wonder if it's on streaming. Maybe if it's on streaming, you could watch it, because I feel like season 1 does wrap up with some type of resolution.
Well, there's a little bit of a cliffhanger, right? I mean, Hiro ends up in like feudal Japan or whatever, and there are and we don't know. Peter takes off, and his brother Nathan Petrelli. Like, I don't know why I have all these guys in my head. I don't know why these characters' names are all in my head.
You know the entire cast.
Yeah, but they're stuck there. I don't know. Horn rimmed glasses, man. Right?
He was the cheerleader's father, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Gordon says it's on streaming, so yeah.
It is currently on Prime Video, so yeah, on Amazon Prime. Yeah. In fact, that guy didn't even have a name. They called him HRG. Remember?
Yeah.
Glasses. Yeah.
Jonathan Yo mentioned Stumptown. I actually really got into that. It got really good after the first couple episodes.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Stumptown, and it was renewed for season 2. And then COVID, the production, you're like, we can't do it. It's too bad.
Oh man. All right.
So what's coming up for this fall, John? What do you have on tap for the fall? That things that you're recommending people maybe check out, or what are you looking forward to watching?
Oh man, I'm having trouble keeping up. The Hawkeye trailer does look good to me. I know you were kind of like mad about it. But it feels like it's my jam. It's the street level.
It's a holiday
action,
Christmas movie.
Holiday, like Lethal Weapon with Die Hard mixed in. I don't know. I feel like that's a good combo. I don't know. Maybe throw out some of your stuff. And
I got no Die Hard or Lethal Weapon vibes from that TV. I got Hallmark, and all I thought it was our buddy Tim Baradas. And I was like, this feels like something Tim would watch. He will be very happy with this. If you threw on like a Hallmark logo on the front, I think this is Tim's jam. So for me, movie wise, I'm obviously looking forward to a little movie called No Time to Die, James Bond 25. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for Dune, although I'm a little bit trepidatious about it because I feel like it's going to be like so big, my brain will just melt and I'll have no ability to really understand the story. Like, I'm legit worried I'm going to be like, what happened? And I'm going to feel stupid. And then I'm looking forward to the Eternals. I don't really want to go past November, John, because obviously there's another movie called Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm trying to avoid thinking about that because I don't know how things are going to progress into November. There's another movie, I can't remember the name of it, that's coming up this fall. It's got me excited. In terms of television, I've already mentioned Yellowstone season 4 is out in November. Succession season 3 is dropping, I believe, in October. And that one I'm super stoked for. If you have not seen any of Succession, you will love it. It's on Crave HBO, the first 2 seasons. I would really recommend somebody going and checking that out if you've never watched Succession. So, and I'm a big fan of The Rookie. Finally, Nathan Fillion, Canadian boy. Yeah, the Nathan Fillion Pavilion out in Edmonton. I'm a big fan of The Rookie. I believe it's season 4 is coming out this fall. It's just like a cool cop show. It's my Sunday night jam, so I'm looking forward to watching that. And that's my fall, John.
It's fun. Yeah, I'm surprised it's still. I thought it had been kiboshed or whatever, but no, I see that it a bunch of seasons.
Steve does say The Boys. Okay, I haven't considered some of those other streaming shows because we don't have dates for those. So.
Oh, we don't. There's no date for Boys.
No,
premiere?
I think it's just sometime potentially in the fall, but we don't know when. So.
Yeah. So
well, that's right. They just finished filming like last week, so I actually don't know when it's going to come out. I shouldn't say the fall. So
yeah. So yeah, Dune looks really interesting to me. So and a lot of people have recommended I maybe try and dive into the book. So maybe I'll try and do a little bit before the movie drops. I know it's long, right? But some people have said it's like one of their all-time favorite books and stuff like that. So and it feels like the epic before epics. So yeah. So Titans has already started over in the States, so we haven't seen anything over here. I haven't really followed it since we can't really cover it, and no one is able to watch it along with us. So Scott says, "Don't read the books." All right, maybe I'll skip the books and watch the movie first.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to look at what books I had. Any TV shows you're psyched for, or are you just gonna wait to see what kind of pops up?
Yeah. Since no announcement, Warrior did get picked up for a season 3. A magical save by I forgot which company picked it up and is going to do the season 3. So very happy with the show, and if that cast is going to return and all that kind of stuff. I think the new season of Animal Kingdom might have started on TNT or something. So we don't have it over here yet. So that's one of my favorite shows, and they did a crazy thing last season. So I'm looking forward to seeing them follow it up. Jessie mentions Why the Last Man started today.
It does.
I think a lot of people PVR'd it. I don't know how. Maybe we'll get in a week or two later on some type of replay streaming service or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so in the US, it's currently airing on Hulu, I believe. I could be wrong. Scott could pay attention, but all 3 episodes dropped this morning, streaming wise in the US. In Canada, they are premiering tonight. I believe it's like right now. 9:00 is episode 1, and it goes right through till 12:30. I think episode 3 finishes around 12:30 tonight. I imagine it, and that's on FX Canada. So if you don't have FX Canada, I don't know what to tell you, but it should be on FX Canada's streaming site probably tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. We may review it, John. I'm not too sure. We haven't.
Really we'll have to figure out some way to see it. But yeah, I think that's it. Do we want to talk about anything else in the summer, or has anyone else got anything else we want to cover?
I read a bunch of books this summer, but we can do that another time. It doesn't matter. I like to mix up between comics and fiction books or sometimes true crime books. I will say this though, John. I just read Batman Earth 1 Volume 3. So I picked up volumes. I had Volume 1 and 2. I picked up Volume 3 from you guys, and I reread 1 and 2 and then jumped right into 3. I read all 3 in one day.
Whoa.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Volume 3 by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. Just unbelievable. So if people haven't picked up Batman Earth 1 Volume 3, definitely reach out to John or Andre and get a copy, because you're not going to get it for free. You have to pay for it, but reach out to them because they have it. It is so good. And John and Andre at the store, they also have hardcover versions of volumes 1 and 2. So if you haven't picked those ones up, I would definitely recommend those as well. Batman Earth 1 to 3 is just fantastic.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that's a good catch, Rob. Sorry, Lewis is asking for a last hour recap. I don't think we can do that. I did find this funny website. I guess we'll close it off, and maybe this will lead to a little bit more discussion. I don't know what Rob's going to do next week. I think he's going to probably announce that later, right, Rob?
Sure. Yeah, I have no.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that you weren't going to be here.
Yeah. And then we do have to. There's a couple things we had to squeeze in before. So we got to squeeze in some James Bond's rewatches, and we want to do some horror movies in October and things like that. So I guess we'll have to figure that out. But I found this funny website, and it's like a date night movie website. So I want to see if we could pick 2 movies that are like that we know the other doesn't like, and see if it comes up with a common ground of a movie in the middle that we do like.
Oh,
so
shit.
I could pick Fast 9 because that's an easy one. I know you did not enjoy that for some reason, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what movie you could pick, Rob.
For you?
No, that you like that I didn't like.
Oh, what movie did I like?
Or do we just all like the same movie? Or anyone in the comments can come up with something.
Batman and Robin, because you like that movie, and I hate
it's a movie that you liked that I didn't like.
I liked. Shit, right? I'm trying to think, what movie did I like that you didn't? You like everything. What movie have we reviewed that you didn't like?
I don't know. I don't even know. How about Steve threw out The Green Knight. Do you think I'm gonna like The Green Knight?
No, I watched it. It's okay. Go ahead and put it in.
Would you choose The Green Knight though?
To punish you, yeah.
No, but it's supposed to pick a movie. So if someone likes this movie, someone likes, and then these are the okay, so maybe this website is kind of whack. I don't know if I would watch any of these. It's supposed to find a common ground for us. Etrigan, like that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, Lord of the Rings, though.
Hook. I would watch Hook. I would not watch Lord of the Rings. Sorry.
What? You wouldn't watch Lord of the Rings?
No, I don't got 3 hours to spare.
No, I'll make you watch the 4.5-hour version.
No.
Fraser says he forgot about the show and he was playing Fortnite. Fortnite season 8 dropped today. I haven't been watching. I haven't been playing yet.
Yeah. I feel like Hook is the best recommendation that this thing came up with. I don't know. We'll have to try and. If this comes up in a conversation where someone likes the movie and another person hates it, and we get this combo going again, we'll pull this website up again and see if it actually works.
Justice League. Take out the Green Knight and put on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Which, I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't know if it's gonna let you put in Zack Snyder. It's gonna just let you put. Oh, maybe you can put Justice League and it'll say. I feel like this is not. Oh, it does let you put Zack Snyder's Justice League on. There you go. I would watch Aquaman. I don't know if you like Aquaman. It's kind of cheating. It's just recommending superhero stuff now. It does have Ghost Rider on there. All right, so whatever. This website is whack. Never mind.
There we go, man. We can watch The Dark Knight. Just so you guys know, Zack Snyder's Justice League is hitting 4K Blu-ray in DVD tomorrow in Canada. It was out last week, I think, in the US, or at least the retailers were putting it on their store shelves a little bit early. Guess who's got a copy coming tomorrow, John?
Is it you?
Yeah.
So you're gonna watch it again?
Oh yeah.
In its entirety.
Even though it's on Crave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. And a
bunch of people shout out. Have you ever seen Aeon Flux?
No, I've never seen it.
Well, Fraser hasn't seen Snyder Cut. Aeon Flux.
Oh my God, Fraser.
Aeon Flux. That is Charlize Theron, right?
Yeah.
Based off the anime. Yeah, I saw it way back in the day, along with Ultraviolet. Really? And I don't know if I could separate the two. But she has mentioned it during several interviews as the movie that like seemed really good on paper, but they just couldn't pull it off. Scott shouts out Hancock. I actually do like that. I actually didn't mind that movie.
Do you remember? You know what the original title of that movie was?
No.
Tonight He Comes. Swear to God.
Shut up.
No, I swear to God.
I think you're making that up.
I'm not.
You're doing that for a joke.
No, I'm not. If Gordon's still here, he'll be able to back me up on that. Tonight He Comes.
Scott said it. It was Scott said it. Are you mixing
up your white guys? No, but Gordon always backs up about these weird movie trivia stuff. He would.
The amount of knowledge that Gordon has on tap is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Steve's mentioning the cartoon. Oh, so you're not talking about the movie. All right. Sorry, Steve. You're forgiven.
Yeah, we have for whatever reason an overabundance of useless information stuck in my head.
Oh, look, see, you even stumped Gordon. You stumped the Gordon machine.
Oh my god! Come on, Gordo. Well, I guess that's it, bud.
I guess that's it. Unless you want to throw. Did you have a horror movie that you want to throw? Do we want to start taking lists from people or taking recommendations? I want to put Evil Dead 2 on there. If we want to at least do one horror movie in October.
I'm okay. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you. You're going to throw on Evil Dead with Sam Raimi. I'm going to I'm going to throw on Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell, because I think that you will really appreciate his directorial style in that movie, and maybe they'll be using some of that as he gets into Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Thanks, Scott. Thank you.
I don't know if Scott actually Googled it or he's just fueling the joke and keeping it to look. I don't know if Steve just mentioned Drag Me to Hell at the same time as you or what, but that's pretty good. Yes, Rob. All right, cool. I know about it. Okay, here you go. So we got some facts here. So Hancock was originally titled Tonight He Comes, and later changed to John Hancock before settling on its final title, which is still awful. like that is definitely like we could run a bracket on the worst movie titles. Hancock's going to be on there. What else is going to be on there? John Carter for Mars. I'm sure we could find a whole bunch of other movies that are the same.
I've never seen John Carter of Mars. It's on Disney Plus. I have to watch it.
It's actually decent. I think it didn't get a fair shake.
Yeah.
But the title is god awful. Like,
you know what? You know what? Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll watch it for next week. You're not going to be here. You're not going to be here. I've never seen it. So maybe if people want to do that, we can do that, or we can just do like a. Oh, Scott says,
Wild Wild West.
No. All right, or you know what? I'll come up with something and stay tuned to the social media. Pick a Bond movie. I do want to pick a Bond movie, Jonathan. I do want to pick a Bond movie, but
yeah, maybe you can pick your favorite old school one. I'm not going to watch the old school ones with you. I will watch the 2 preceding Daniel Craig ones that lead up into this movie, this new one. Right. Nowhere to Die or whatever the hell it's called.
No Time to Die. Scott, you've read my mind. If I swear to God, if I could find Remo Williams on somewhere, I would totally watch it. Gordon says Bond in November, but the movie comes out in October, bud. So, yeah.
Is November special for Bond?
Nope.
Like a special. Oh, all right.
Nope. Anyways, all right. I want to go walk my dog, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to watch something.
Yeah. So everyone, message me or Rob with your favorite horror Halloween slasher type movies, and we'll maybe do a quick showdown with them or something, or just choose them. I definitely want to watch Evil Dead 2, but maybe I'll just have to do that on my own time. So thank you, Rob. Thank you everyone for joining us in the comments.
I'm glad your computer worked out.
Yeah. The last minute reboot. It was a little dicey. Shout outs to Jessie who did these wicked animated avatars of
thanks Jessie. I appreciate him.
That. Link to his Instagram on in the description of this video, so definitely follow him and maybe get a commission or something done. So thank you everybody. I guess we will catch you. Beetlejuice.
I'll see you in 2 weeks, John. And for those watching or listening right now, I will see you next week. Follow the Heroes World main Instagram stuff. Follow my stuff, and I'll tell you what we're going to do for next week. We'll definitely have something to watch. You probably don't want to do an Ask Me Anything, and you didn't really like it when I was asking a bunch of questions to Stu Tim. So
you're too serious. They want comedy. They want comedy.
They wanted the silliness. So we'll break something out, and we'll watch something for next week. So just what, I'll have something in the next 48 hours. That gives you a few days to watch.
You should figure out your closest movie that you can get to Jersey Shore, and watch that. I don't know what that would be.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Encino Man? I don't know.
I just watched Encino Man the other day, about 2 weeks ago. All right, I'll see you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much.